Good morning, everyone. So it's quite early right now. I think it's just about 5 o'clock. And yeah, so it's 4:56 right now. I've been up since 3. And I really am quite the introvert, so I really enjoy quiet morning time. And right now, like, the sky isn't a deep blue, but it's like that dawn color, and I really love it. So anyway, it's funny because like most people are so into like, oh, your morning routine, I'm like, I don't really have a morning routine. I just kind of wake up when I wake up, and especially because just struggling with health stuff, I never know really when I'm gonna feel good. So if I feel good, I wake up early. If I don't, I sleep in. But I pretty much do the same things whether or not I wake up at a consistent time. So anyway, so we are launching a new season of This Our Daily Life, which is weird. I think this is my 5th season, which is crazy. I really meant to start it on June 15th, but I was pretty much sick all of June. I had like two flu things back to back, and my back went out. It just wasn't a good month. So, but the upside of that was that I got to rest quite a bit, and I really have been. It was just a really hard last year. Like, some parts of it were really great, and like moving to this place, which I finally named it. Every place that I go has to have a name. So this is Cherrywood Manor. That's what I'm calling it, because our house is cherrywood finish, and I just thought that was a really cute name. So Cherrywood Manor is our home. We're still working on a name for our little. We have like we say that we have like a little sorority because of all of us girls are together. I was kind of thinking it'd be cute to be like maybe the Golden Street Girls, because I don't really like the Golden Girls, but like the concept of it is cute. So I'm gonna ask the girls today if they want to do that. I've had so many different names, and they're all like, no. I don't even know why it matters to me, but whatever. But yeah, I think the toughest part was I broke up with my boyfriend in December, and that was just really tough. Like, I was really thinking we were going to be married and all these different things, but it just didn't work out, and so that was really hard, and it really brought up a lot of things in me, though, because I thought that I was like so close to God and all this stuff. Man, I probably need to just do a whole separate video on that, but just real quick summary. I have struggled with, sin in my life, sins in my heart, mind, and body that were just, like they were things that were subtle enough where, I thought that I was fine with God, and, I think like my biggest things probably were like idolatry and pride, that are spiritual sins, that are they really go under the radar. Like, there were some other things that were like, obviously that's not good, but those things were hard, and really relying on kind of my own goodness to get me through the day. And after I broke up with my boyfriend, I was like, all these things started coming out of me, just like these things that I normally wouldn't have, like rage and anger at God. And I was like, whoa, what is up with me, and but it really showed me where my priorities were, and my priorities were in this world, and the material things. And it's not that the material world is bad. I'm not like a Platonist or anything where, I believe that like the material world is somehow evil or anything, but it like, this material world is a means to experience God. It's not God himself, and we're waiting for our spiritual home and our spiritual bodies. Like, we're always going to have a body. I don't believe in being disembodied, but this world is not my home, and Jesus was not being like the real king of my heart and my life. And so that was really hard to recognize, and I was really angry with myself, and I was angry with God, and I was angry at just kind of like the whole world. And then to add to that, I really had to wrestle with my addiction to food, because I really we have a really bad food problem in our family. Like, not only do we have health issues, but and like eating anything can make us like have brain inflammation, or just cause a lot of like celiac problems, blah blah blah. So it kind of makes you already obsessed with food, because you're always trying to find things that don't hurt you. But I really had I had gone down the road of packaged food again, and I am like totally a chocoholic. Okay, it's bad. I am totally a chocoholic. There were times when I'm like, I am like an alcoholic. I can't like wake up without thinking when I'm gonna get chocolate, or like driving by a store without going in to get chocolate, you know. And I was like, this is just bad. So I really had to wrestle with that, because my family was like, you can never have chocolate again, and because of my back pain. And I don't know if that's true or not, but like just the thought of that made me like want to put a hole through the wall. I was so mad. And it's just being like, wow, Lord, do I love you more than I love food? You know, like if someone was like, you know, you can have a chocolate bar and deny Jesus, like, would I do it? You know what I mean? If I was like out there somewhere, you know, not, like, you know, hadn't eaten for days and days, I was like, oh my goodness, wow, you know. I've always thought that I was just like this, like, I don't, just this super Christian, I guess, you know, just really proud and arrogant. And then I thought I had licked my pride, you know, insert Perot, I will be the humblest, what was it? It will be my biggest humility, you know. Yeah, so just to like really recognize some things in myself, that has not been a super fun thing. But being sick kind of gave me a chance to just lay at the ceiling. That's what God always does to me. I had to flat on my back and stare at the ceiling and figure things out with Him, you know. And I also went from being super busy with school, like I had taken 23 credits because I knew I wanted to be busy. And kind of in the back of my mind, I was like, if something doesn't go well with me and my guy, then I want to just like work myself to death, you know. So so I was super, super, super busy, like writing a huge thesis paper, you know, just doing like staying up crazy hours and all this kind of stuff, to having pretty much nothing to do really, you know. Like I have things to do, but I didn't have anything that I had to do, you know. It's much different when you're on your own schedule than when you're on somebody else's schedule and they're driving things. And so that was kind of hard too. But again, it just, this has all given me time to really see who I really am and be like, wow, you know, I need to rededicate my life to the Lord. You know, like I'm at this point where like I don't even know if I was really saved before, you know, because just, you know, like, can you walk in that much sin and still be saved? I don't know, you know. So, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. What matters is that you know, Jesus does the saving and we don't, and He is a real physical person, and He is in heaven, and he does see me, and I don't want to be embarrassed when I stand before Him at the end. And I really, you know, I really do want to live my life for Him and not for myself, and that means putting my physical self on the line. You know, I think that we forget that Jesus put His physical self on the line, and He died a horrible, horrible death, and His whole life was sacrifice, and it wasn't finery, and He is the King of Kings, you know, and he is. Camera died. So anyway, but he's had all the finery for forever, you know. But He came. He was a servant, and He, you know, was very, very poor. There's nothing glorious or glamorous about being poor either. The church sometimes kind of tends to glorify that, but like I've really been wrestling with this whole idea of the ascetic life, which means like that's the opposite of everything that the world sells you. You know, like I kind of got into the whole thing last year of like wanting wealth and things to be good all the time, and that's just not, you know, and like recognition, and that's just not what God wants for His people. You know, like we as His people, we're the outsiders, and like one day, yes, we will, you know, we will have the whole world. We'll you know, like God, you know, everything is God's. We are God's children, and everything will belong to us, but not right now. You know, it's like this is the training ground. This is the testing ground. You know, we're training for the Olympics, and it is hard. It is not fun and easy. You know, if it was, then everybody would do it. But anyway, so I had something. I forgot what it was. But anyway, so but yeah, anyways, it's cool outside. It has been so hot. I do not do well with heat. I am from the mild climate of the Pacific Northwest, and I'm not used to all this heat. But what right now? So right now it is a nice 62 degrees, and I can think and breathe. I have like a warm cup of tea in my hands, which is as I like it. I'm wearing something that is warm and fuzzy and cozy. And so I haven't been able to sit for like the past 2 years about. But right now I have myself kind of like, I don't know if you can see this, but I have like this chair push on its front 2 legs. And as long as my knees are like downward, I can sit for a few minutes, which has been really nice. And I am just running through the Bible, my little Bible study thing in the morning. And I hadn't been doing like a physical Bible for a really long time. I've been watching so much ASMR. I really love ASMR, and I think I want to start an ASMR channel. But anyway, there's a lot of tapping in ASMR. But I hadn't done a physical Bible for a long time just because I couldn't sit, and so I was very grateful for like audio Bibles. Still am thankful for audio Bibles. They really, really help me. I've been recently listening to Word of Promise, and they have like all actors and music, and it's great. You get like an overall sense of things. Sometimes we pick apart the verses too much. We can't get like the overall story. So, but anyway, I've been really grateful that I've been able to like go back through and do some highlighting and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, because it really does help. Because the Bible is not just a book, it is like, it really is the Word of God, and when you break apart every little word, it I don't know, it's like, it's so rich, metaphorically, metaphysically, and just straight up, that you're never going to be able to explore it all, and that's really weird and overwhelming, but it's very cool. So, and because I randomly started at Ephesians, I was like, I've never done this before, but I'm just going to run through the Bible in alphabetical order. And apparently there's no B books in the Bible. There's a couple things like that. There's A, no B, C, D, E. There's a lot of E's. I don't think there's any F. There's G. Anyway, so there's a few alphabet letters that aren't in there, but I'm like, well, I'll just start with Ephesians and go through all the E's. So I think right now I'm going to start Ezekiel, and that'll be kind of cool. And then I've also been reading, I do not get into a lot of women's Christian fiction. The reason for this is because that most of it is really like romance driven, and I already have a romantic mind, and like not even just like male female romance, but like the romance of the world. And romance and nostalgia can be really good, but they can also be harmful in other ways. I need to do a video on that sometime. But anyway, like just not accepting reality as it is, that's not a good thing. So but these books, so this is the Millie Keith series from Martha Finley. They were actually rewritten. I don't know if you guys can read that. It looks blurry, whatever. But these were rewritten for younger girls, and I used to read these when I was younger, and I really have never read such convicting Christian fiction, because like the characters are constantly talking to the Lord. They're just constantly like trying to do what He wants them to do, and really facing a lot of their sin, which we don't like. I don't really see that in fiction a lot, so I really appreciated those. And reading this back, I'm like, dang, really? Because I'm just like, I've been just so like convicted. It's not fun to be convicted, but whatever, life. But and then in addition to that, like I said, I don't really have like a morning routine. I just kind of wake up and do things. So, but I have been like getting up and looking for jobs, and I have had a little bit of writing work where I've done some editing for a friend, and then I'm doing some editing and administrative work for a doctor's office that I'm going to currently, and I really, really love my doctor. I'm very grateful for that. And then I'm also working on a little music video that like during the summer I always have like my big summer music video. I don't know, that started in like middle school or something, but I found the most perfect song for a Princess Diaries music video, so I'm making that, and I'm done. It's going to be done today, so yeah, that'll be really fun. The song actually was written by the guy who is in, so if you've watched Princess Diaries, Michael, the boy who is like the love interest for that movie, he actually wrote this song, and it played on the end of the 2007 Nancy Drew with Emma Roberts. Is that right? I think so. I don't know. One of the Roberts girls. And I always loved that song. And then when I like was like, oh, I should put that on my iTunes, and I grabbed it and I was like, the guy looks really familiar. Who is that? And I was like, oh my gosh, I think that's Michael from Princess Diaries, because he played a band guy in the movie, and apparently he really was. So I looked it up and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, oh, this goes perfectly. Like there's that early 2000s sound, you know? And there was also like every movie kind of follows a beat. So I was like, this is totally like that 2000s kind of slapsticky beat. It'll be perfect. And as I'm making it, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is gold. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it. I enjoyed making it. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Well, I'm gonna peace out here. Enjoy my tea, and I can't probably sit for too much longer, so I want to be able to enjoy sitting. But yeah, I am looking forward to this new season. I have no idea what I will be doing this season. I have a few things. I would really like to work on some humor stuff on this channel. I think that'd be really fun. So hopefully there'll be some funny stuff for you guys. And I don't know what else. I do know that like I want the quality of my videos to be better, so I'm really grateful that I've got this great camera now, which is balancing very precariously. I hear my sister would kill me if she saw me what I was doing. Anyway, love you, Lexi. Yeah, so it'll just be higher quality videos, hopefully higher quality content, hopefully a higher quality person. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, well, thank you all for watching. If you've made it to the end of this video, congratulations. Yeah, and have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Goodbye, little birds.